This has serious implications for the New York Yankees going forwards, as their entire season is being decided over the next couple of games, as things will have a major impact in the playoffs based off these games. While also, fans are very concerned over Aaron Judge and his return to the outfield, and we're going to break down why that is and why the New York Yankees season is about to get decided over these next couple of games. We're going to jump right into that as always. But before we do that, guys, if you're part of that 72% that's not subscribed to Yankees Digest, make sure to subscribe for daily New York Yankees videos. We have a lot of great stuff coming out for you every single day. The New York Yankees are in the really interesting part of the season in the playoff push right before things get started. And we have a ton of updates for you guys, so make sure to subscribe, have those post notifications on. Let's talk some New York Yankees, because look, guys, there's a lot to talk about and a lot to go over with the team right now. As where things stand for the Yankees as this moment goes on, they are currently looking at being in wild card position. They're in good position to make the wild card game and be absolutely stunning if they didn't. That's basically a mortal lock that they're going to do that. However, the question lies, what's going to happen next? How much further are they going to be able to go past that wild card game? Obviously, the American League East has a lot of talent in it. The Toronto Blue Jays are in first right now in the division, something the Yankees still can take away from them, while the Boston Red Sox and the Yankees look like they'll end up battling in a 3-game wildcard series as of right now. Now, obviously, there's a lot that could happen going forwards, but that is what things look like at the absolute moment. And FanGraphs did have an updated situation with the Yankees, and we're going to go into the full screen so you guys can see this more clearly, because when we look right now between the American League East and the American League Central, which do have the teams with the higher percentage chance to win the World Series and everything, we see that the Blue Jays have a 100% chance to make the playoffs. The Yankees have a 99.8 and the Red Sox have a 93.7. Where things stand right now for the New York Yankees and the American League East as a whole is these three teams really fighting it out. It feels like the Red Sox are pretty unlikely to win the division. That would be very tough for them to do. They have a 2.6% chance to do so, and the Blue Jays do have a 76.1% chance. So the Yankees would have to go on a heater, which includes beating the Blue Jays a few more times. But outside of that, when we look at the Yankees, they do have the highest World Series win percentage of any single team in the American League, and that continues when you look out west as well. When we see the Astros and the Mariners both have decent World Series percent chances, with the Astros at 5.7 and the Mariners at 6.4. But for everything going on right now, the Yankees still are looked at as the favorites to win the American League East, or the American League, despite the fact that they are not currently in the lead in their own division in the American League East. Now, there is a lot to go over with this whole situation, and Sports Illustrated did talk about this, mentioning that the Yankees are 7-3 in their last 10 games, with the Blue Jays being just 5-5. New York has taken a 1.5-game lead over the Boston Red Sox in the American League wildcard, which was their first mission in their bounce back after falling behind to their rivals. That is, the Yankees, they needed to reclaim their top wildcard spot and now are hunting for a division win. Now, surpassing the Blue Jays would come with significant perks. Being able to win the American League East means they get a first-round bye in the playoffs. Every team wants that bye, obviously, but it would also mean to get and avoid potential back-to-back division series in the playoffs. Right now, the Yankees and Red Sox are set to match up in the first round of the playoffs, and if New York pulls off a series win, they would travel most likely to Toronto to face the Blue Jays after that little 3-game wildcard series. So, obviously, that's where things get very tense moving forwards. And it was also mentioned that New York has struggled against the Red Sox this season, leaving it as an unfavorable matchup to start their postseason run. However, if they can win the American League East and leave Boston to Toronto, they only need to face one divisional opponent. That could go a long way from keeping their World Series hopes alive. And I absolutely agree it could, especially when you consider how the Yankees have done against the Red Sox this year. I mean, when we look at the numbers right there, what we see is that the Red Sox, they won their first game of the season against the Red Sox, the first time they actually played. I actually went to that game, funny enough. It was an excellent game. Trent Grisham hit a home run. Paul Goldschmidt hit a home run. It was the beginning of summer. The vibes were great. And now summer's over and everything's sad and miserable and school's back. Not even that I go to school. I'm in my mid-20s now. I'm past school, but still, it's a scary thought because school sucks. If you liked school, you probably have a bit... You're just insane. And then they also won the most recent game against the Red Sox as well. They played all the games in between that. They did not win. The Yankees are 2-8 against the Red Sox this year. So clearly not a matchup you necessarily want in a 3-game series because you have to be able to win that series. Now, obviously, you would have your best pitchers going out there. Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, and one of Luis Gil or Cam Schlittler would likely be the third option if they have to get there. But they would hope that Fried and Rodon can kind of dispose of the Red Sox as quickly as possible, so then they can move on to the next round, which does make a ton of sense and is definitely very possible to still pull off. But there's just a lot of questions surrounding that. And that's not the only thing there's a lot of questions surrounding. There's also a lot of questions surrounding Aaron Judge being back out in the outfield. As we know, Judge went down with an elbow injury in July, and things have really been shaky ever since. He's barely gotten out in the outfield. He's recently made his return out there, and there has been just a ton of concern about this whole situation with Aaron Judge, because the fear is that he has a torn UCL. The fear is that you're going to have to move him to first base for the rest of his career, sort of similar with what happened to Bryce Harper. They tore the UCL. You get Tommy John surgery, but you can still hit the ball. So a month later, he's back. He's playing first base, and that's just what things are like from now on. And we've seen tweets of fans saying, Aaron Judge, get ready to learn first base, buddy. We're already seeing that stuff happening, which does make a ton of sense if we're being honest, because at the end of the day, you want to preserve Aaron Judge's bat as long as humanly possible. Yeah, he's a good right fielder, but he's one of the best hitters we've ever seen. So when it comes down to it, the hitting is so much more valuable than having him out in right field, specifically regarding the fact that obviously with Giancarlo Stanton, it's not an ideal situation, just like this car alarm isn't an ideal situation outside my window right now. But with the New York Yankees, with Stanton, with Judge, you can't DH them both. So one of them is going to have to go to first base, and especially considering the fact that Ben Rice can catch, that really fixes a lot of problems going forwards. And on top of that, we would see a lot more good happen with the Yankees also. Now, that situation basically is with the Yankees effectively finding themselves with a younger outfielder as well. I mean, they also, retaining Cody Bellinger becomes important, but then you could also bring up Spencer Jones, put him out in right field, have Belly in center field and Dominguez in left field, and you have two nice young players in your outfield while you still have a bunch of great talented veterans on the team. Obviously, in that case, you've decided to preserve Aaron Judge's bat by putting him at first base and having Stanton stay as the DH for now with Judge or with Rice at catcher. And it does make a lot of sense for the Yankees moving forwards as well. It also switches up your first base plans because you look a lot less towards Munetaka Murakami coming over from Japan. So that'll also play a part into things as well. But with Judge and his arm, there has been genuine concern that fans have brought up. I mean, with fans saying that he's still warming up or that he's just, that now everyone's judging his throws and that he should just get the surgery. And there's been a bunch of conflicting opinions from Yankee fans where people are basically not thrilled with the way he was throwing the balls. He wasn't throwing it very hard. He was throwing it a little awkwardly where he was going like that. He wasn't really going from the side that he usually does. He was going kind of over his head, clearly trying to preserve that elbow that's not at full strength right now, which makes me think there's no reason to actually put him out there into the outfield. So that's a weird call by Boone unless he's just really trying to get bats out there. But nonetheless, Aaron Judge is still the massive favorite to win the AL MVP, as he should be. He's had a better season than Cal Raleigh regardless, and he should continue to get that MVP award, though I am a little skeptical if he actually will, considering what's happened before with Aaron Judge. Now, on top of all that, what we've also seen is a guy who's still just downright phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, we all still understand how damn good Aaron Judge is. He's got a 7.5 WAR, 43 home runs, a 321 batting average, an OPS of 1.099, an OPS plus of 202. This is the first time all season his OPS has been below 1.1, and we're all pretty confident he can get back up there. I believe in Aaron Judge. I always will. I believe in the Yankees, too, this season. I think they're actually going to be better than expected come the playoffs. But we're all going to see what happens. What do you guys think is going to happen? Let me know in the comments down below. I almost said in the contract down below. In the comments down below. Like this video. Subscribe. Turn on post notifications. Have a great day. Go Yankees.